Yo, 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 this is DPS Podcast. That's Damage Per Second Podcast, episode 286. And we are actually coming to you live on our normal time, which is Thursday nights, feeling all right. I am one of your hosts, SloMoBackSlap, here with Ramon Terrell, with Gaming Forte in the house. Fellas, how's it going? How you guys doing?
What up, though?
Apparently, I was about to
Everything
say,
is good.
I'm hearing that. I'm like, I hope they can hear me. Go ahead, bro.
Everything is good. It's a nice bright Thursday evening up here in Vancouver. Summer is starting on the back half, but it's still staying late. Still staying light till about 8:30. We're past the dark at 10, so that's how I know it's starting on the back half. But yeah, having a good time, trying to enjoy the rest of summer.
Wait a minute,
All
it
that
would
good
get
stuff.
dark at 10 around your
Yeah,
way. I
and
know, I know you're kind of closer
yeah,
to the closer you are to the poles, the more that's kind of
the longer it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
For
at
over
the height
here,
of
it
summer.
gets dark around like 7:45,
Oh yeah, man. No, at the height
7:45,
of
8
summer,
a.m.
it gets dark at 10 o'clock. But the flip side is once we get into autumn and winter, it's getting dark at like 4:35. So that's the trade-off.
How you been, man? What you been playing? What's been going on?
I've been playing on. I finished. I don't even remember what the last thing it was I was playing, but I started. Black Flag. So I finished Black Flag. Went back, did I found out that I missed some of the optional new mission, so I went and did that. Uh, Left me a little unsatisfied because an absolute horrible person actually escaped, but he saves his friend. Yada yada yada. No spoilers there, but you know pretty much the stories anyway. But anyway, finished that. That was great. Aside from combat jank and parkour jank, and then I started Onimusha 2, and Onimusha 2 is breaking me out of my series snob mentality. And what I mean by that is when a new game comes out, if I haven't played the series, I got to play the whole series first.
Mm.
Because I want to experience not only the story, but I want to experience the development of the studios with the games all the way up to present. It's kind of like with an with a book, like you can start a new series by an author, but you want to read their first stuff and then feel that development all the way up.
Yeah, I do that too, but
Onimusha.
it's simply because I even if I played the game already or watched it before or read it before, I will forget details. And so to make sure that I'm fresh on everything and that little minor details aren't being missed, I will either replay the game, rewatch, or reread whatever the content is before engaging in the new thing. That's just kind of my process.
Yeah, that's what I do. Whether I've already played a series or not. I'd never played Onimusha, so I played through the first one was great. I mean, obviously you have to account for the times when it was made. The
True.
second one, the second one is giving me problems, man, because like the combat is a little frustrating, and that camera, the fixed camera switching perspectives. When I tell you that camera has killed me multiple times, like it's so bad between that and just like certain things like having to finish out a slow animation and everything. I ain't gonna lie, I put it on easy just so that I can kind of
Oh
just work through
no,
it.
you put it on journalist mode?
Dude, it's that bad. It's that bad. Like I was playing it on normal, and then what would happen is like I'd be blocking, right? But then you slide back when you block. If it's an enemy that if they do a heavy attack, and then it knocks you back into the previous camera angle, and now you're looking from a different perspective, and it throws you off, and then you just get mopped. So I'm just and then like, or you'll be running, and then there's enemies in the next camera angle, you go at them, but then if you move around within that camera angle too much, you go back to the different perspective, and then somebody comes flying in from off camera and nails you. So it's like you can't see everything that's going on,
That's
and then
always the
enemies will
biggest
just
issue with
oh
bad
man,
cameras is when you can't see all the
off
enemies.
screen.
And so, like, there's
Yep.
no way to dodge or parry an enemy that you don't see coming. And so, like,
Exactly.
and sure, like for example, like I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game where like you could really adjust the camera to a large degree. And I liked having the camera up close because it was more like cinematic. But then in combat, I was dealing with that issue where it's like, bro, I can't see the enemy attacking me. So I had to actually pull the camera back out. Actually, no, wait, it was Crimson Desert. That was it. Because like I had Crimson Desert allows you to really like fine tune the camera and how close the camera is, or whatever however you want to do it. And I appreciate that, but like I kept like before I finally settled in on a good adjustment, like settings for the camera, where it was close enough where it felt like I felt like I'm seeing the visuals well enough, but far enough away that I can see enemies coming. But it took me a while to get there. It took me a few hours to get there. It's unfortunate when you see games don't do that well, and you end up it kind of ruins the combat experience, you know.
It really does, and that's the primary reason, the major reason why I put it on easy is because I found that
I still
I
wouldn't have
didn't
done
I
that
don't it
though.
was
I'm not putting the game on easy. I can't go that far. I can put it.
when I
I can go down to normal. I feel like today's gaming, normal is easy. Like
yeah, today's gaming, yes, and Onimusha 2 is not a difficult game, but it was getting so frustrating, like, playing with a challenge and you're doing all right, but then the camera switches, and then you get when I tell you something, dude, there are points where there'll be four enemies on screen and they will literally corner you in a corner and just be wailing on you. And then like they just keep going and going and going. And then if you get out of that and you move too much, the camera switches. And then or you get out of that and now you're fighting back, and then somebody from off screen hits you in the back, and there's these rolling enemies or spinning enemies, and if they get you in that move, they take off. It's just like like it's a bunch of damage all at once.
I just thought the side effect was funny. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. As I was doing it, I was like, this isn't gonna go well. But but yeah, like yeah, it got to the point where I was like, it was an expletive written experience, and I was just like, you know what, dude, I just want to get through this. So that's that's been my experience. I'm hoping to finish it on my next, because fortunately it's not a long game. It's like between 9 and 16 hours. Obviously depending, but that's how long to beat has it listed as. So
Mm,
I'm hoping I'll finish it in my next sitting, and then I'll probably jump into an indie before Way of the Sword comes out.
cool. 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 Forte. Gaming Forte. I
Yes.
feel like I haven't
Yes.
talked to you in a while. Like it's been a minute, man. Where you been? What you been doing? You didn't get my message.
Which message?
Check your DM when you have the time. There's a message there for you.
In X?
Yeah, there was a
Oh yeah, I haven't been
in
there in a
regards
while.
to it's channel stuff. You'll see it. We'll discuss it after show. But there's a thing that I needed you to sign off on, so to speak. So
Oh my god, you could have called me about that.
no, I thought you would see the messages. But I didn't think that you would basically ghost me for like an entire week. So
Oh yeah, I see it right here. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, I see it. No, so other than work and playing some video games, I'm playing Cuphead again. Me and my daughter, she's never played it, so she was having a hard time with the first two bosses, and I was like, "This is cupcake." And the funny thing is, it took me a minute, bro. It took me a minute. I was like, "Oh shoot, I got to remember this stuff." And we went through the first four bosses, and so we're doing that together. That's really really cool. Then so my brother, he's here, so he stays with me right now.
Hmm.
And he has a Tesla Model X, so he has Steam inside of his car, like one of the last ones that had Steam built into it. And we
Really?
were out. Yeah,
In the
so he had
car?
Steam in the car. It literally
Okay.
it basically is Steam in the car. So it was the last year before they discontinued it. I think 2023 was the last year that you could have Steam as a app inside the dashboard.
Why'd they take it
So
out?
we
You know?
because nobody was using it.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, nobody was using it, and it takes up resource and stuff. So you can't get it anymore. But yeah, we were in the car and we were playing Cyberpunk in it. So I was like, we're playing Cyberpunk. I was like, so what's the? I said, so what's the performance of this? It's always like a PS5. No, PS4. PS4.
That's
So I was like,
PS4 level performance.
yeah,
Okay.
it's PS4 level performance, and they have the setting inside of it for Steam Deck performance. So we were playing it at Steam Deck performance, which was actually pretty cool. It was running like, surprisingly 75 frames per second in the car.
Nice. What was the resolution? Like what, 1080p, something like that?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like 1080p. It's a 17-inch monitor. You know, you don't have to go that big when it's a 17-inch screen, and you know, you don't have to, you know, but it looked really, really good. It had everything set to high settings and stuff. And that was really, really cool. So I played that. Then I went and played some Luminous on there, and it's just crazy because we were sitting at the charger, and while you're like waiting at the charger, we're just sitting there like, oh, it's going to take 30 minutes to charge this thing all the way up. So we're just sitting there playing video games. So I was like, man, this is crack. I was like, yeah. I was like, you literally
you sound like you about to get the devil car. That's
Brother,
why I call it
it's
Teslas now, the devil's car.
It's
I call it a
it's,
win.
it's getting
I call it a
close.
win. British.
It's getting close. But yeah, that was part of it. And then to answer Arcade's question, Battlefield, man, I've been in there every day since that DLC came out. I've been playing Carrier Assault. I've been playing Jet Sweep. They got on a new, not a new map, it's a reprisal of Wake Island. And I like the cool thing about it is they did a lot of homages to the original, and they got like this little plaque inside of on the map that has the diagram or the engraving of what the map looks like. And then on the engraving, it says to those who fight here. And then it says in 1942, BF2, 2042, 1943. So basically all the games that it was in. And it says, we are grateful. Then it has on the sides of it, it has the whole development team that worked on that map. I thought that was a little pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, bro. I was like, yeah, they brought this map back. It is actually a really good map that has like really good gameplay on it. But I've been using a sniper rifle on that one because it's like really long sight lines. And plus it really makes me focus more on my my switching between, you know, primary and secondary, because I'm running around with a 4x zoom, 5x zoom on this sniper, and I'm like, if I body somebody
roll up on you, yeah,
I got to be able to get this pistol. Yeah. I got to get this pistol out real quick. So I probably racked up more kills with my pistol in the last 3 days than I've had since I played Battlefield 6, since it's been out. And it's something, and I will always tell people, get outside your comfort zone and try something different. Even if you love a game, try playing other things, try playing other modes, other weapons, other game modes, because you never know what will revitalize you and get you back into it. It's like I predominantly I just like playing with carbines, and assault rifles. And sometimes I'll play with submachine guns and stuff, but mostly ARs. But getting to this pistol gameplay, it's like, because I would get caught so many times reloading my AR, knowing I got a pistol as a sidearm, but I just it's a crutch. So I just die in the middle of.
You gotta get out of that, man. Like
you had to get out of it.
In the middle of a firefight, you can't reload.
You can't reload. To
your secondary, so you can finish someone off. Then you reload.
Then you reload, but then it's like so, and that's the thing. I know that, but it's like, when you're playing in certain lobbies and you're just destroying people and you're sitting there like, oh, you get into a firefight, take this person out, then you just instantly reload, and then you get caught mid reload and somebody comes around a corner and you're supposed to be like, okay, kill this person, check this corner, Then, if you don't see anybody, reload your weapon, stand still, crouch behind something, reload, then go out about your business. Like I'm out here running around, reloading, going around corners and stuff, and getting shotgun because I'm like, why didn't I just stay where I was at until I was finished reloading my weapon? So playing with the sniper and playing with the pistol has really slowed me down a lot because you have to be very, very intentional. And I think that it's more of a a situational thing because of the map I'm playing on, so it makes me play that way. And I'm trying to get like the badges and the medals for the new sniper they just added to the game. So that's been really, really cool. But the Top Gun stuff is really cool, bro. Like when you jump into a jet, it literally does the shooter does the animation where he tells you, he points and goes off the aircraft carrier when you do it, and you like jump off the ship, and it's like you go and look around and stuff, and it's really, really cool. So they did a really good job. And they made a lot of improvements to the flying mechanics. Like I'm not going to say they made it easier, but they refined it more. So it doesn't feel like you're a fish out of water jumping into a jet like you were in previous updates. But
They streamlined it,
they streamlined it a good amount. Like it's still not easy, but it's a lot easier than it used to be. It's more approachable, I should say. But outside of that, though, that's pretty much been it. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The jumping in the car and playing Cyberpunk in a Tesla was like, this is kind of crazy, bro. I can't believe that we're playing at 72 frames per second on high settings on a 17-inch monitor in a freaking car that's charging at a dock. Doesn't say I'm going to go out and get a Tesla or anything like that, because like I said, unless you get one of the older models, like 2013, you got to get like a 2013, 2023 model or younger to get it, or older, I should say. But yeah, but that's been pretty cool. Oh, and also tomorrow we have been without air in our store, like AC in our store, since July 27th.
Good grief.
They can't. Yes, it's been crazy because they replaced our.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember when I told you I had to do the overnight?
I remember you saying it, but I didn't know it's been like that for that long.
Yeah. They came out on the 27th of last year. It feels like it's been a year. Last month to change out our junction box for our power. So they could replace it because it didn't have enough power in the old electrical box. So they did that already, but they couldn't turn the air back on because they got like a continuity issue between the box and the rooftop unit, and they didn't want to turn it on until the HVAC people came out and checked it to make sure it was okay. So I guess they decided that, well, we're replacing the unit anyways, so we're not going to send somebody out to like look at that. We're just going to wait for all the stuff to come in for your new unit to get replaced. And that was 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So they finally brought us some, what were they called? Like the portable HVAC units that you plug into the wall that they go into the ceiling and stuff, which cooled off the building really good. So we had those for like the last week. But tomorrow morning, I'm so happy to say that we will officially get our new AC unit. And they are putting a brand new I got to be there at 9 o'clock in the morning because they have to get access to the store so they can turn the power off and stuff, and they get in the crane so they can put the new one on top of the building. So I'm super happy about that because I can actually live. I'm telling you, I'm going to live in 65-degree weather for like the next month in that store. It's going to be great. But no, that's it for me, man. What about you and what you got going on?
Well, what you see on the Jumbotron right now is Dragon Sword Awakenings. I feel like I've been playing this primarily for the past week. And I'm about level. My characters on average are around like in the level 30s. You can go. I think max level is 90, and I'm not in game. I haven't beat the game yet, but a lot of like I'm really trying to get myself towards end game so I can start to really kind of like build out these characters the way I really truly intend on it. It's got a lot of deep systems in it. Like they got this thing called karma, where karma can give there's like exclusive karma that works with exclusively one character. And then there's just general karma that works for someone who has a particular affinity for like a certain kind of magic, like ice or fire or poison, stuff like that. Uh, think it's a total of like a dozen characters total. I have about actually it's more than that. It may be like 16, 17 characters because I feel like I have 12 already right now. Now, I may have made a mistake trying to level them all up as I was trying to get my feel of who to use and what kind of team compositions to use. And I'm still trying to figure that out as well as like all the different systems. There's so many different materials and items and ways to 'cause, like, you can just fight stuff and level up that way, but that's not the right way to level up, like, you need to get certain materials and there's grinding methods of fighting bosses, which I showed previously with the gameplay of, like, just grinding boss fights where you can just go into the menu and just say, "Yeah, I just wanna do hunts. I just wanna hunt bosses." And you can hunt them in the open world, or you can just go into the menu and then it'll be like, "Here are the people you can fight." And if you can beat them, you can beat them and you'll get materials off of that and you can level your characters up and, hit certain milestones to go even higher. But it's essentially it is that Genshin Impact, MiHoYo game kind of gotcha system without the gotcha. There is no loot boxes. If you want a character, there is a exchange menu. You go into the exchange menu, you'll get tokens off of completing major quest lines or earning them through certain challenges, and then you can use those tokens to unlock another character. And so I've been really enjoying it. It's been good. The story is okay. I don't really like. I don't really think people really play these games for the story. They play it for, to be honest, the gooning and the combat. The combat's gotta be good because for the way these games are designed to do all that grinding, you just can't do that with bad combat. So the combat's gotta be fun. So I am enjoying it a lot. And I don't know, once I hit end game and really get like start really dominating like the end game bosses, I don't know how long I will stay playing with it. But shout out to the developer, only a team of 40. They made a really good game. And I don't think they really anticipated how popular it would be because the game is like up in the millions sold at this point, and the game doesn't even have like English dub. It's all in Korean. So they're like, yeah, sorry about that. We're gonna try to have English dub by December. And they've already kind of like lowered some of the requirements or like make it a little bit easier to get certain materials and stuff like that. So it's like they're already listening to the community and making changes based upon what the community says they would like to see. So it's going good so far. So I've been playing that. I did 100% achievements on Hades 2 on Steam. That was them last five. Oh man. Hades 2 is the best roguelike ever, in my opinion. Just I will say that from now until the world ends. Hades 2 is awesome. Best roguelike out there. Um Once you get to end game and you start doing some of the stuff that's like challenges where like they're like remixing the biomes, they're you're fighting harder versions of all the bosses at the end of the biomes, and those bosses are no joke. Like some of them had me literally wanting to throw one of my 5,000 controllers just because like I'm like, how who designed this thing? But I made it through. In true SloMoBackSlap fashion, I have 100% of that, and I'm playing it through Xbox Game Pass as well. So now I'm like, I beat the game through Xbox Game Pass, and I'm in game for that. So I'm trying to do all the achievement stuff for that as well. And then at some point, I think I probably will end up getting it on PlayStation and doing the same thing there. Why am I doing that? I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but I'm doing it. And I think
Well, you
it's
supporting the developer for a job well done. That's all.
I do that as well. Like when I played Dispatch and love Dispatch, I bought Dispatch on everything. I own Dispatch on Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, and Switch. Yes, $30 game. That's what I spent $120 on total. Do I care? Not even a little bit. So, yeah, I'll probably end up playing it on PlayStation at some point, or maybe Switch as well. I don't know. Maybe not Switch, because Switch doesn't really have the achievement system for me to be able to kind of like push towards those certain things. But, um, yeah, Hades 2 is fantastic, and if you like roguelikes, I recommend anyone play it. And then one more game. So I do have shout out to Korkenstein. Korkenstein had a code, even though I was supposed to, because I'm a Discord Nitro member, I was supposed to get a code for the Modern Warfare 4 beta. I never got it from them. Shout out to Discord for being flaky. But Korkenstein said he had a code. Was like, you're like the only person I know that plays Call of Duty. So I said, "You want it?" He's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So shout out to Corkenstein. I use that. I have used the code, and I am ready for the Modern Warfare 4 beta. And all the complaining that's going to come with it, as Activision still doesn't know how to do skill-based matchmaking correctly. So there's going to be a whole bunch of that this weekend. Although I'm not going to have too much free time this weekend. I got a lot of stuff going on with family, especially Saturday. But maybe tomorrow and Sunday, I'll try to get out there. Maybe not Sunday, because I gotta do some yard work on Sunday. But look, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it, and then I'll have feedback for you guys next week. Outside of gaming, have you guys seen Lanterns?
I
What's
have
Ramon,
that?
not.
Forte? Okay, so Lanterns is with Kyle Chandler and Aaron Paul. No, Aaron Paul is the guy from the other TV show. Is it Aaron Luke? Is Aaron something? Somebody in the chat is going to let me know. Aaron something. But he was in that TV series that's basically, it seems like Lanterns is taking a lot of inspiration from. I forgot, it was on Netflix. I forgot the name of that too. I'm terrible with names right now, so forgive me. But Lanterns is a DCU DC Comics TV series about the Green Lanterns. Kyle Chandler plays Hall Jordan. Aaron plays John Stewart. First episode dropped last Sunday. Fantastic. It's amazing. It's awesome. And it's like, apparently, I think they had like, I think I saw it today. They said they had like 9.3 million views just this week for that first episode, which is better than like Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, better than everything that HBO has put out recently. So I hope that means that we're definitely going to get a second season, and but I do hope it kind of like the season really delivers more than just the first episode. But I'm not, no spoilers, but I recommend everybody check it out, even if you're not someone who likes like superhero stuff, because it's very grounded. It's not like the Ryan Reynolds movie where it was like everything was CG and it was corny looking. And even Ryan Reynolds hates it. Like everyone hates that movie. It's not like that at all. It's very grounded. They're almost never in their little superhero suits. It's it's very practical, but well written. So I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next episode this Sunday. I would recommend everybody check it out. I think that's it. You guys ready for these rapid fire topics?
Let's get it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, really? Oh, really? So, Phantom Blade Zero had a state of play from PlayStation, who has timed exclusivity for that. I'm pretty sure there's some people who are angry about that. Uh, the state of play, I watched some of it. I feel bad. It's the topic, and I didn't watch the whole thing. But I am fairly certain Ramon watched it, right, Ramon?
Oh, yes, I did.
So, Ramon, your thoughts on Phantom Blade Zero? And for me, full disclosure, probably gonna skip it.
Oh man, of all the games to skip.
It's like I'm not, and that's not because it's like I'm not saying it looks bad, but just recently, especially this year, I have been less of a hype beast playing everything that's popular, and more just like if I'm feeling it, I'm gonna play it. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna force it. So I'm just not feeling it
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
that's what you're supposed to. No, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, you know, you play what you want to play, man. This is the hobby. This ain't an obligation.
Right, right.
For me, I want to start off with the one potentially negative thing, and it's not really a negative, but it is a negative for me. It's probably unlikely that the dual sense features will be supported on PC. So I'm sad about that because um
Why is that the
I
case?
think because I don't know if third party games support the those features on PC.
Hmm.
The first party games do, because you have to be wired, of course. You have to be wired to get those features. The first party games they do it, but the third party games I'm not sure they. I don't. Okay. I'm partially assuming because I haven't
Okay.
played a third party game yet that heavily implemented the DualSense features on PS5 that they did it on PC. If anybody in the chat knows, please correct me because I would love to be wrong with that.
I feel
And it's
like
a double-edged sword,
even though this is not third party, it's technically kind of second party, but
like a second
Kana
party.
Bridge of Spirits, I feel like that one
It
had
doesn't. It
the
doesn't.
same haptics.
It
But
doesn't.
of course the say again?
Kana doesn't.
It
Because I
doesn't?
looked it up and I
Okay.
looked it up, dude. I looked it up and people were on Reddit. They're like, man, how come they're not using the DualSense features? And then I think even on Steam, people were like, man, are you going to implement the DualSense features? And people are like, nah, man, it's been this long and they still haven't done it. They're probably not going to do it. So
Mm.
I haven't fired up Kana on PC yet. So I don't know. I
I
probably need
wonder
to do
if that
that.
is something that where PlayStation is like, um,
Well,
we
yeah, 'cause they want to get
we
people.
want people to play this on a PlayStation console. So
Yep,
even if they
that's the
have a
draw.
DualSense controller, we don't want that on PC because if you care about that kind of thing, then we want you to do that on PlayStation, which frankly, I think that's a little bit more of that PlayStation delusion that they seem to have. Like, remember when they thought they could convince PC gamers who didn't own a PlayStation console to buy a PlayStation console to play those single player games, and I'm just like, yeah, they ain't doing that, bro. They're not
Yeah,
doing that. They didn't already own a
it took.
PlayStation. They're not going to buy one now. And I think thinking that for haptics, you're going to get people to buy PC gamers to buy a PlayStation. That's peak delusion. It's not happening, bro.
Bro, to put extra emphasis on your point, I have a PS5, and everyone at this point knows just how big I am on the haptics. Like I
Hmm.
freaking love the DualSense features, love it. And I have a PS5 and I'm still playing it on PC, even if it doesn't have the haptics. So I mean, yeah, if that's their strategy, then I don't know what kind of narcotics they're inhaling, but that's it. Getting off of that, the game looks freaking amazing. Like so I have been waiting so long for a game that has gameplay like this. So the combat is called wuxia, and wuxia is like how can I describe? Well, basically, I mean, you've seen it. It's Chinese action adventure. A lot of wushu moves, but and also traditional kung fu moves. Um, the combat is just frenetically fast, and I love fast combat. So I
It
mean,
looks
I was
dope.
just
It looks
hyped the whole
dope.
time. Oh, it does. It looks amazing. But what gave me chills, dude, was the lion dancing boss because I did lion dancing for a while. I did lion dancing for a few years,
Did you
and
do it for a role or you just did it for fun?
no, no, no. I no, I did it. Well, I was in a Shaolin Kung Fu school, And the monks
Ah.
at a certain point they started teaching some of the advanced students what do you call it, lion dancing. So
Mhm.
I got to learn all about that. And like, although the mocap, I don't know how they mocap that, but those moves were perfect. Even when he, like, the way they flutter the eyes or they move the mouth and everything, because that's something like inside the head of the lion, there's these bars that you hold, and then you,
Mhm.
like, you push it up and then push it out, up, out, and then at certain points you hold the inside
But
with
they
one
you know
hand
what
and
they
you
probably did? They probably put those, like, sensors, you know how, like, when you see, like, performance
yeah, yeah,
capture, and then you'll see that they're in the suits, and then they got, like, sensors all over their
yeah.
body? I wonder if they put the sensors on the actual, like, you know, dragon-looking thing that he's
You know
using.
what? Yeah, they probably did. They probably created a prototype that doesn't
Oh,
have all of the
Dotness in the
fur
chat
and
wants to
all of
know if you're
the.
talking about country line dancing? Or are you talking
Oh my gosh. Chinese line dancing, sir.
It's
Chinese line
talking about Chinese line dancing sadness, and I absolutely did not think it was country line
dancing.
dancing
Lion
initially.
dancing. Lion dancing. but uh, but no, man. Like the thing that really got me is, okay. So I don't know how much you remember, but there was a point where the lion kind of stood up tall,
Yeah, I remember
and
him.
that got me hyped because I was the like, there's the front and the back of the lion, right? I was the back of the lion because I was the tallest in class. So the way it works is one person controlling the head, and you're under the fur and everything. And so you're holding the waist of the person in front of you. And so then there's certain moves where the person who's the head will jump, and then you lift him and you run forward, and then you sit him down, and then you lift him up again, and then you go into like a horse stance and he stands on your, like, on your quads, right? Or
What?
you lift him up, and then he'll have one foot down, and so you go into like a forward stance, right? So picture
This is way
your
more involved
your
than I thought it would be. I thought it
oh,
was
dude.
just
So
I thought it was just people in a suit just goofing around. You know how you see someone like in a like a horse? I know this is sounds
yeah.
terrible. There's
Oh yeah,
probably
yeah, I know what you're
people
talking
who take this stuff very seriously that's probably hating me right now. But you know, like you see like this one person is the back, the butt, and then the other guy is the front, and they're just trying to stay in sync. But you like lifting people up and they're standing on your legs?
Yeah, man, and
That's
it's
crazy.
there's another one where, so picture a forward stance where one leg is straight back and the other leg is at a 45-degree angle, right? So what you do is you lift him up, or he jump and you lift him up. You go into that stance, and then he stands with one foot on your forward leg. His other foot is like, you know, curled upwards, so his knee is like at his chest,
Mhm.
and then he's moving the mouth, like, you remember, like on the lion boss fight, how the mouth was moving and everything,
Yeah.
and it was shooting the fire. So that's what they were doing. And then we remember when it was running on those poles, those
Mhm.
that's real. We actually, like, we didn't do that. Well, we did that, but the poles were shorter. But the professional line dancers, they actually do that, where they do the line dancing and they jump from pole to pole. Like, it's all of that was like real line dancing, and the music was line dancing music because they have these drums, and it's like doom 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 doom. Like, all of that was real, and then they obviously turned it into, the kind of fantasy for the game. But
Mhm.
from the music to the line dancing, it was all authentic. Like, I had chills when I was watching that, so I can't wait to get to that boss.
Cool, cool. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're definitely day one on this.
yeah, unless something horrific happens between now and then with the game,
Now this
I'm
game
uh
is
I'm day
on
one.
it's day one on PC too, right?
Yeah, PC and PlayStation day one.
So where are you
So I
playing it?
will. Oh
Because
man, you already
you
know. I
playing on
will.
PlayStation 'cause for the haptics, or you gonna play on PC? The performance is going to
Oh,
be.
like I already said, man, I'm gonna be playing it on PC. I am going to check. I'm going to go on the message boards and see, if I can find anything about the DualSense features. I'm gonna assume that they
There's
won't
probably gonna
be,
be
but
some mods out there. Someone's going to drop a mod that can actually make it work or something like that, I think.
oh man, that would be amazing if so, because that like I would love to have those features, but whether they are or not, I will be getting it on PC. Um, and I playing just seeing that game in 4K maxed out, you know, 60 plus frames. Hopefully, it's closer to 70 to 90. But I'm all in on that. Everything I've seen, I like the different weapons. There's so many different weapons. The drunken style. When I saw drunken style, dude, I stood up. Like just seeing the drunken style and then to cap it all off, the cherry on top is that Donnie Yen
Yeah, I
is
saw
part of
that.
the choreography, and he's a character. Like, I mean, if there's
Donnie
anyone
Yen's the
here who
GOAT,
doesn't know who
man.
Donnie Yen is, he is the freaking goat. He's from that era of Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Bruce Lee.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and of course Jet Li. So I mean, yeah, that dude, man. Oh, yeah, super hype. So yeah, I'm all in with Phantom Blade, and I'm not pre-ordering. But if they give me even a mild excuse to pre-order, I might just do it, even
Mm.
though pre-ordering a digital game doesn't make sense. But if they sprinkle even a little seasoning on that game for a pre-order, they might just get me. But yeah, I'm definitely day one for that. Definitely.
Cool. Cool. Forte, you picking that Phantom Blade Zero?
Uh, all right. So I watched the the only reason I watched a little bit. I'm pretty much like you. Um,
You
I
see
watched
it's
the
dope, but you're not really
Y'all
interested.
killing me. Y'all
yeah.
killing me.
I'm sitting there. I'm looking
Y'all
at
killing
it.
me.
I'm like, it looks dope, but I'm sitting there, like, brother. We got to be very selective in the games we play now.
Yeah,
it,
this next couple of months is going to be ridiculous with games. So you really gotta
yeah,
like whatever you get, you really gotta be feeling it. Like I'm
you got to be
definitely going to
feeling
be
it.
playing this. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, because the
Oh,
way I'm
that's
looking
definitely
at, because the way I'm looking at it is, um, Modern Warfare. I definitely want to play Modern Warfare 4. That comes out, I think, the same exact day, October 28th.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna play that. And then I have to also think because there's a Ocarina of Time is probably coming out this year, and we're gonna
Oh,
get
I forgot about that.
and we're getting a Switch, another Switch 2, and I'm trading in mines, and I got to go towards the price of that. So I'm looking at probably the price of another console. Not as much because I'm trading my Switch 2 towards it, but then I still got to buy it. I'm gonna buy the collector's edition of Ocarina because I buy it for all the Zelda games. So
Hmm.
that's going to eat up some money. And then Fire Emblem, I'm definitely picking a Fire Emblem.
Absolutely.
After watching that trailer, I got to pick a Fire Emblem. There is no way I can own a Switch 2 and not play Fire Emblem. So it's just looking at it, it's like, yeah, it looks really cool. It looks really interesting. And I said, but yeah, I can wait. But then on top of that, it's the underlining thing with PlayStation. The reason I didn't even really want to watch the state of play is because I'm still in my mode where the only thing that saves this game for me is the fact that it's coming to PC. So at some point I could probably play it in the future, like when
Hmm.
it catch one of those sales that's online and stuff. But it's like, now it's like we're at this point now where like SloMo, like he said, a game could look really, really good, but but unless it is a game that's on your radar for like an entire year, something you're looking forward to, like without even seeing gameplay or without seeing this or that. Like SloMo went out and bought a Switch 2 knowing that it was a Fire Emblem coming out. Didn't know nothing about what it was going to be. He was already in for Fire Emblem before they even announced it.
Just like I did.
Oh
Just
wait.
like I did.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I waited to buy it until they made the announcement. I said I
Oh no,
refused to
no.
buy one until I
Yeah.
saw a Fire
No, but
Emblem trailer.
I'm just saying that you still went out and purchased one, not even knowing what it was.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you just, you just said, "Oh, Fire Emblem, cool, I'm there." It didn't even matter. It's just, and that's kind of where I am now. It's like I'm just like, if it's not something that I'm like a Mass Effect 4, even though I don't know who's gonna make it at this
Or
point,
if it even comes
or
out.
even if it's ever gonna come out,
Right.
that's a game for me that I am super into just off the name alone. And then God be if the his grace that it's good. So but that's where we are with games and stuff. So it's not to say that I'm happy that you're excited for it, Ramon. It's just the simple fact that I look at it and I was like, yeah, this is cool. This looks good. They put a state of play out there just for it, so they got a lot of confidence for it. But it's just another game. It's just another game that just kind of seems like another game that's on a wall of other games that's releasing this year, and it's coming out during a time where a lot of people are going to be playing a whole bunch of other things. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is one. And it's another thing. I think a lot of games that come out during this time of the year, if you wait 3-4 months, like January, February next year, you'll get all these games half the price that they are right now. You ain't got to pay full price for none of this stuff, you know.
But that's mostly if you really don't. It's like if it's a game that's like one of your most anticipated games of the year.
Oh no, you don't wait.
You're not waiting. You don't wait.
You're
but if
not
it's
waiting,
something that's
yeah.
just like like for me personally, the 3 games I'm really interested in right now is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Control Resonant.
Yep.
Oh yes, yes.
Wolverine. Actually, I feel like there's
Still
4.
not doing it. Still not doing it.
I can't remember what the 4th. I feel the 4th one is an RPG. I just don't remember what it is right now.
Blood of Dawnwalker. Blood of Dawnwalker.
Nah, I mean, I'm somewhat interested in that, but that's not it. It's I can't remember what the 4th one is. I'm like I said, I'm getting old. But,
RPG.
but
my other one is Final Fantasy Resonant.
No, it's a RPG that's being made by the same developer that did 13 Sentinels and Unicorn Overlord, I believe. I believe they got another game dropping in September, and I'm going to pick that up too. So, like outside of those games, if it wasn't such a crowded like period, I would get these other games that I am interested in. But I'm at the point now. It's like unless you're like a struggling developer, and I'm mildly interested, I'm not buying your game knowing I'm not going to play it for months. Like I'm going to be playing other things, and then when I finally get to your game's going to be like half off at that point, and it's just like I can just wait.
Is it Muramasa?
Muramasa?
Muramasa Revenant Blades.
Maybe. It's
made by Vanillaware, so
then that's it. Yeah. If it's made by Vanillaware,
it comes out next year. Yeah, it comes out next year.
Oh, it's next year? I thought that was like in October.
Oh, they have it listed for next year.
Oh, well, maybe I have some additional bandwidth for another game.
No, you don't. Wolverine does not need to be that game, sir. Wait for a used copy.
Sir.
Wait for a used copy.
I understand your plight.
Wait for a used copy, bro. Don't give them your money.
Forte, I understand your plight.
Brother, the game ain't going nowhere.
I'm with you.
SloMo, the game ain't going nowhere, bro. It's not going anywhere. You'll be able to pick that game up, SloMo. You'll be able to pick that game up in 2
I am cheerleading you
weeks.
guys. You guys fight for what you think is right.
I'm not fighting anything. I'm just if they don't.
I'm getting the game.
It ain't no fight there. Ain't no fight there, brother. That the moment Sony gets another dollar out of my pocket is not happening, bro. Not happening.
Well,
you know how bad I wanted to pre-order that PlayStation 5 Pro and that controller and that system. I wanted so bad.
You know, it's just plates, right?
So bad.
I just found out it's just plates. Yeah, it's just plates. And the controller is the controller. But
they are selling a console. They're selling the console too, with the plates and everything on it.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about it. I thought about it. I thought about it hard. No, I'm not.
Actually, I think they're all sold out anyway. But
they are, and they're going for $150 to $200 plus online right now on eBay. Craziness.
Good Lord,
nonsense.
Craziness. Ain't no way.
I kind of want to get what we got here.
The Spick and Span with the $2 super chat. He says, rent it on GameFly. There you go.
We're not. Oh, GameFly's still a thing?
I
Yep.
didn't know there was still a thing, but that's an option.
Oh
You
yeah,
ain't gotta
they've been
buy it.
around. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know GameFly is a thing. Yeah, there you go, SloMo. Written on GameFly. You can do that.
No, you can rent on. I'm
No,
buying the game day
no,
one. Man.
No. See, no, SloMo.
I
You're
don't know
not.
what
See, that's an option for you to play day one. See, I already told you what I'm doing. I am gonna either there's two ways I'm gonna play this game. Either they're gonna give me a copy of it, or I'm gonna wait for a pre-owned copy to come into the store so I can like
So
pay for it that
basically,
way.
you're going to play the game.
Oh, I'm still gonna play the game. I'm just not giving them money to do it. I'm just not
Yeah.
giving them money.
You gonna try to dictate how I play the game?
No. You was talking all this stuff too about ownership and everything too. I'm just letting you know that you have a voice, SloMo, just like everybody else.
I
And
sure
your
do.
voice sends echoes through the times. I need you to be along for the ride, bro. You need to be there.
Forte dragging you to the picket lines with a sign in his hand.
You
Exactly.
need to be here, bro. You need to be
Exactly.
here with us. You need to be here with us. Ain't nobody see this the thing. I ain't
I
telling
am
nobody.
with you.
Listen, we ain't telling nobody
spirit.
that they shouldn't play the game. That is blasphemous. I will never tell a person not to play a game that they want to play. I am telling you, if there is an option for you to play the game and not give those people money, take advantage of it. Them people. That constant, that console platform holder. If there's a way.
Well, Forte, one thing you gotta keep in mind though is there are a lot of people who aren't bothered by this
Oh, I know that.
thing, like at all. Like,
I would say this,
people-
right?
Ain't bothered one bit by it.
The
But they say they are.
industry and the market will answer. For those who like physical media and don't like this, and you know this, like the way media has been reporting on PlayStation is different. The way gamers have been going about PlayStation anything has changed. You even like, for example, the state of play for Phantom Blade Zero. If you look at the replay of it, all you're seeing in people in chat is talking about physical, 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 physical. Every trailer that PlayStation drops or any whatever on their YouTube channel, there's always in the comments people still going on physical media. They ain't letting it go. And if you are one of those people, good. Stay on their necks. Don't let up the pressure. Stay on that thing, because that's how you affect change. Now, me personally, I've been an all digital gamer since 2017. So I don't care that much. I do care to the degree that when you take away physical media, but you haven't changed how you do business otherwise, I have a problem with that. When you have limited storefronts that can sell your games digitally, I got a problem with that. When you try to control when things go on sale and don't allow sales like that, when even developers and publishers would like to put their game on sales to take advantage of like holidays and stuff like that, and you are unresponsive, like I don't like these kind of things. And these are things that as we stay on their neck and you do things like talking to, your local representatives and educating people who are regulators and things like that, like over the course of time, Sony will need to bend the knee in order to get regulators and whatnot off their necks. But that is how you affect change. But what will happen, whether you like it or not, physical media is going away. It is just, unfortunately, the way things are. But we can make it so their refund policy gets better. We can make it so uh, you're getting
Ownership
better,
improves.
actual true ownership and not owning having a license. That's some BS. We need real ownership over the things that we have. Having it so if you would like to transfer the games that you spent money on, that you own, that you quote unquote own digitally, that you can transfer your account to a relative or someone else if you just so happen to pass away. Those kind of things, like there are not just PlayStation. Steam doesn't allow it. Xbox doesn't allow it. Like a lot of this stuff needs to change overall. Like the entire industry needs to change in how they do things, and that's where you really need to affect change. And I hope you guys keep your foots on their neck. I will enjoy Wolverine though, but I am with you. Two
There's a
thumbs
bit of
up.
a irony.
I'm with
There's a
you.
bit of irony in this. Xbox actually highlighted a bit of irony in this, in that when they had that outage and people couldn't play their physical games, the
Hmm.
irony is the most secure ownership you have is digitally through GOG. That's the
Yeah,
crazy part. The irony of it is the digitally is the most secure way you actually own your games, and that's through GOG. Like I found that so ironic.
yeah. Now, I wanted to kind of, yeah, let's because we got kind of onto a tangent, but let's kind of keep things rolling.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Actually, I probably shouldn't did the oh really just then because I did want to acknowledge something that's happened over the past week that's very unfortunate, and this kind of happened maybe a day after we did last week's show. Um, I don't know if you guys heard this or not. I don't know. Forte, maybe you haven't heard this because you're not so like locked into social media, but Peyton Panettiere, who was from actress from Heroes, the TV show Heroes,
Yep, I know
and
about it. It
yeah, she's
sucks.
also in the video
Oh
game
man,
Until Dawn, passed away over the past weekend.
that's
So,
crazy.
condolences to her family. It seems to be a bit fishy, the situation and the circumstances of her passing. I hope if there was something untowards that happened with the people that were there or around, that they get what's coming to them. But very unfortunate that that happened, and I don't know what that means for, uh, you know, outside of like the stuff that she was working on. Because this is a gaming podcast, so on the gaming side of things, I think she was supposed to be involved with Until Dawn 2. Wherever, actually, no. I think that was something that was planned, but she wasn't going to be involved in that. Especially after we saw the trailer, they didn't even hint towards any of the previous characters. But still, um, rest in peace to Hayden. It's a terrible situation. She's way too young. She's only 36 years old. It's just a
I
messed up
know it's so
situation.
young, so
Um,
young.
Additionally, I guess on the brighter side of things, we discussed this a few weeks ago about the God of War TV series. It's been confirmed today that Dave Bautista will be officially portraying Kratos now in replace of Ryan Durst. So that's definitely happening. Ramon, you had a lot of interesting thoughts on that in regards to why they were going to replace Durst instead of waiting for him to heal. What do you think about Batista taking over as Kratos?
It can work. I mean, he has the stature, and although he was slimming down, because to hold that kind of muscle over a
Yeah.
certain age is rough on the body.
Mhm.
But for a temporary amount of time, he can bulk up, and then the photo that I saw of him looked like he had put back on some muscle. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I just see
I
some
can.
recently he's getting bigger, yeah.
Yeah, so he's bulking up for the role, and he already, when you already have that baseline, you can come back pretty quickly. So as far as stature, I can see it. Acting, possibly so. I mean, I like Bautista, so I think that you know once we maybe see him in this, see him in the scene, see him with the makeup and everything, I think I think it's a
I
strong
think
possibility he
he's a
can pull
really
that
good
off.
fit for the role, you know? Like
Yeah,
he
yeah, I can
definitely
see
can
it.
play Kratos. Like we've seen him in enough things where he's done very Kratos-like kind of acting already. So it's just I feel like it's an easy transition for him. He's probably a way better fit than Hurst was initially anyway. I don't know why they didn't even try to get him in um, for the role from the right start. But uh,
Yeah, I can see it. I can
yeah.
definitely see it.
Forte, any thoughts on that?
No, I can see that too. For the most part, I just think at the end of the day, it's all about just opportunity and stuff. So when those type of things come up, people just take advantage of it. But outside of that, it's just unfortunate that that situation kind of happened and everything like that. And still more stuff uncovering everything, but like you said, pray for the family and everything like that. And that's super unfortunate, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. All right. Let me find where I was at. Okay, now I can go back to the old really. So. Oh really? Oh really? According to known leaker Nate the Hate, Xbox is poised to announce a new game that is going to be a sequel to something at Gamescom. And so, what my question to you guys is, what do you think this game might actually be? I have
Wait, can
some
you repeat
theories.
that?
Okay, so
Well,
according to Nate the Hate, there is supposed to be an announcement of a new game by Xbox at Gamescom, which should be like
oh yeah,
next
yeah,
week, I
yeah.
think.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And if he said the genre, he would have given it away.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think is this is going to be?
You want to go first, Forte?
What was the question again?
Good grief! Forte don't pay attention to nothing. Go ahead, Ramon. Go ahead, Ramon. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. What we
No,
talking about?
I took my
So,
headset off for
well,
a second.
I'll go, but I'll recap for you, Forte. At Gamescom, Nate the Hate said that he heard there's a new game coming out by Xbox,
Be the third
and
time
if he
you
says
said this.
if he says the genre, he'll give it away. My
Oh
theory,
Lord.
he said if he gives the the genre, that it would give it away. They already ruled out banjo, so if he's so it's probably not a platformer. I don't know why I've seen it, but I've seen a lot of people saying Sunset Overdrive 2. I don't know how people don't know that
What?
Sunset Overdrive, dude. I've
What?
seen so many people saying Sunset Overdrive 2, and I'm like,
The dev is owned by
Insomniac owns that.
PlayStation. Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly. Dude, dude, I even like I couldn't stand it. I actually responded to one dude and I was like, it's Sunset Overdrive is owned by PlayStation. And then the dude was like, well, yeah, but they said
Well,
it
I
was
mean, I don't know if
an
the
IP not owned by
IP
Xbox.
is owned by
No, it's
PlayStation, but
owned by
maybe it is.
it is. It
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's owned by.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
then the dude was like, well, it's
regardless,
a huge
even if
news
even
event.
even if they still had publishing rights, or which is possible, IP owned by PlayStation, but they got publishing rights, or even if they own the IP, they're probably not going to do a Sunset Overdrive 2 without Insomniac. I mean, it's a very
Exactly.
Insomniac kind of game. It's a lot of the
Yeah, if
foundation
anybody else
of
did.
his gameplay is seen in almost everything that Insomniac is. So it's just like, what? Why would anyone make that kind of? That's
Yes.
crazy. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so my there's only two genres that I can think of that if he said it would be a dead giveaway. Or excuse me, well, yeah, two. Platforming, which I think we can rule that out because, Banjo is the only platformer I could think of, unless I never played Cameo, but I assume that's something of a platformer. I don't know. But I'm going with Ori 3. And the reason why is if he said Metroidvania, that would be a dead giveaway for an Ori 3.
Hmm.
The I can't
Now,
remember
hold
his
on.
name, but the
The
head,
Moon Studios is still working on No Rest for the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah. They're all in on that, but it's about to go into official release. So they're almost
Okay.
done. And then I remember the head of Moon Studios, I can't remember his name, but the head of Moon Studios said that he had
Thomas Mahler, I think is his name.
maybe, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know his name. But I think I heard something about he said that he already had ideas for an Ori 3. This was a while back, not recent, I don't think, that
Mhm.
he already had ideas for an Ori 3. I'd maybe written up and ready to go. Don't quote me on that, but I heard something about that. So, honestly, I
It's
can't
also supposed
think
to be a
of
sequel. So I kind of
yes, a
feel like
sequel.
whatever it is, it can't be too old that people would rather say, "Yo, can you just remaster this instead of doing like remaster the original game because it's like so outdated or whatever, right?"
Yeah.
Um, instead of just doing a straight up sequel. Although that actually kind of changes what my theory was now that I think about it. Damn. My bad. Go ahead. Okay, what do you think it is? Because you
I,
dancing around
Ori
the
3.
you think it's Ori 3. Okay.
I think it's Ori 3. I know some people have said a second Rise, and that's a good possibility,
I've
but
heard that too,
I'm
yeah.
going with yeah, I'm going with Ori 3.
Okay. I have I've changed mine. Mine before was Blue Dragon 2,
Blue
which the
Dragon,
first
Blue
Blue
Dragon.
Dragon was made by Miss Walker, the same dev who did um
I'm not familiar with that.
what is the name of the game that I can't Lost Odyssey, which is a fantastic RPG. Um, or it could be Lost Odyssey. But I feel like both of those games, the reason why I'm changing on those is that both of the well, actually not so much Blue Dragon, because Blue Dragon has a very stylized art style that is kind of timeless. But Lost Odyssey, you would definitely need to do a remake on that one before doing a sequel. I'm switching all of that though. Forgetting all of that. This is what I think it is. Quantum Break 2.
Um, that would make sense.
Remedy is still independent,
God damn
and
it.
That would make
and
sense.
and Remedy has wanted to get, you know, the rights to Quantum Break back, in order to fully integrate it into their old little multiverse, because all their other
Control. Yeah.
games, Alan Wake, Control, they're all connected. And they would love to have Quantum Break connected as well, but they weren't able to because they don't really have the rights to the game. But what if like Microsoft is like, bet you want the rights to the game back? Give us a sequel. And we got you. And so that's my theory. Quantum Break. Quantum Break 2. Forte, are you up to
That's a good
speed
one.
now? You have a name you want to throw in the hat?
Uh Quantum Break was one of them.
Oh, what? Sure.
No, it was.
Whatever.
Seriously. No, dude, we talked about Quantum Break last week or the week before. Don't because you know why we talking, because we were talking about playing it in we were talking about using it as a game to do surround sound testing in.
Oh
So it's
yeah, that's
always
true.
been
Yeah.
Quantum Break was always on top of my head, bro. So yeah, when I was thinking, I was like, man, that Quantum Break would be a good one. And then you said it, but it's fine. A IP that they could bring back, that it could be. Me personally, it would be man, Quantum Break is so good.
What was the
And then
Activision IP?
it was. Oh, you said what was it? Activision IP?
I said, what if it's an Activision IP?
Oh, that'd be even greater.
Like Prototype or something like that.
That would be prototype. I was just getting
Yeah,
ready to say prototype 3.
that'd be even greater if it was an Activision IP. There's a lot of things they could bring back. How about finish what you started with StarCraft and bring back freaking Nova, like stuff like
Watch it
that.
be cracked down and
Oh
everybody be
God,
upset.
and everybody be upset.
If they did
Everybody be
Crackdown, I
upset.
think
I'll
people
take,
throw
I'll
bricks through
take, I'll
windows.
take, I'll take Crimson Skies
Crackdown
over
4.
Crackdown. I'll take Crimson
Cracking it
Skies over
down again.
Crackdown. Hey, they could bring back a Guitar Hero,
Final crack.
Guitar
Oh
Hero
man.
could come back, all you know. Let's be for real here.
Yeah, but that would, as much as that would be cool, that would be deflating.
That would be deflating. Well, what about a Conquer? I'm always down for more Conquer, bro. I love Conquer.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I've never
guess.
had it.
I love Conquer. Conquer was great.
I know. Really. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've never.
You never played Conquer?
I have.
Nope.
Wait,
Oh.
Ramon, you never played it. I mean, I mean, like, I don't care for platformers like that. So I played it back in the day, but you know, I could do without a sequel for it, honestly. But
You could do without a sequel of it.
yeah,
Um,
I'm good.
Man, I was, this would have been great. Like if Double Fine was still owned by Microsoft, but they're not anymore. And they could probably get the
Well, you know what? It could very well be a Toys for Bob kind of situation. So, like when Toys for Bob got their
Yeah.
independence from
Spyro. They
from
jumped to
Microsoft when they got their independence and they secured a first game with them, kind of like seed money, so to speak, with Spyro. So maybe Double Fine's doing the same thing. Like they're getting their independence and potentially they could be doing a game for Xbox that will kind of help them, you know, as they're off on their own now. You know?
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, it's such a what I mean, some of the games that I would like really want are just ones that a lot of people, because I as much as Brute Force was horrible by most people,
Oh
I actually
gosh,
like that game.
you
I like
really?
Brute Force. I actually like Brute Force. I have fun with it. It was cool. I mean, I
Force
did.
sucked. I hate that game.
I hate
I hate that game
you
so
ain't like
much.
Brute Force at all, bro.
No,
Brute Force was cool, bro. I
no.
like Brute Force.
And I was all
It was
hyped for it. I remember seeing the
it
screenshots
was
and
hype. It was
magazines. I was like,
so
oh man, this is
hype.
gonna be great. And when I finally
Great.
played it, I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
this?
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't like I finished it and I never went back, and it's one of those games that's never been in rotation to ever go back and play again. But I think the premise was good. I think the execution was horrible, but I still enjoyed the game. And that's like one of those IPs that they just own that is like, dang, just we're never gonna touch this again, along with like part of me just feels like, dude, you just can't let Perfect Dark just die.
Yeah, they
You
can.
just can't.
Apparently, they did.
They
I mean, they
absolutely did.
can, but
Insane.
it's like, but it's.
Insane.
Did you hear that there's like okay, so before they officially canceled Perfect Dark, it looks like they were in talks with either Rockstar or Take-Two, or you know,
It was
Take-Two owns Rockstar,
Take-Two.
so basically essentially Take-Two anyway. To potentially have them take over it, but they had some issues with like who's going to pay for it, who's going to own the IP, like you know, the money became an issue, so ended up not working out. But then people from the team that was on Perfect Dark ended up still going to Take-Two anyway. It looks like Take-Two is making an unofficial, like I guess a spiritual successor or something, you know, of whatever the heck they were trying to do with Perfect Dark. So
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah, now I say all that to say maybe they did work something out. And maybe that is what this
That would
is,
be
but
cool.
I feel like
That would be cool.
they were probably I think Nate the Hate would probably describe it a little differently if that was the case. He'd probably say something like a game that was canceled is coming back or something like that. Instead of if I told you the genre, you would just know what it is. Which to me kind of makes me go, it's gotta be something that's in there, like their IP. It is not something that they make a lot of. So it couldn't
Gears of
be
War
like
Tactics 2. Gears of War Tactics 2.
ooh, you may be right.
That's a good
Yeah, because like they've only really made one of those XCOM
and
style games.
it was really good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Gears Tactics was really
That's a good.
good. So now when you put it in that context, that would
That
be
makes
my
a lot
number
of
one.
sense. I'll be
That
down
would
for
be my
that.
that would be my number one guess if that was if under that context, if you can guess the genre, if you guess the genre, you'll know what the game is. Because that's the only genre where it's literally just one game and there's no guessing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
And that would be, and honestly, let's be for real. In the
Ooh,
right
shout
now,
out
we're
to
in the
Sotness in the chat. Killer Instinct.
No, I think they
yeah.
They
ruled that
only
out
got
already.
one fighting game. So
I
that's an
think
IP.
I
So
thought I heard they ruled. I thought I heard they ruled that out already. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm
well,
wrong.
I mean,
But I think
this could
I heard
just
it was.
be an announcement. Or I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe did Nate say this was supposed to be like coming soon or something? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll have
Gears
to see.
Tactics that'd be a great one right there if that was it.
We'll see next week. I'm cool with a Gears Tactics 2 or excuse me, a Quantum Break 2. Either of those
If
make
I
me
had to
happy.
if I had to pick between the two, I would pick Quantum because I really
Yeah, me
enjoy
too.
Quantum Break.
Yeah. All right. Well, got some more Xbox
Slow-mo.
news. Yeah.
Oh. I thought we were moving off of rapid fires. I wanted to add something in real quick.
Oh, not quite yet. We got a couple more.
Okay.
But
Okay.
something else Xbox related. Xbox has begun removing. So remember how everyone was upset about how Xbox is out here promoting platforms they don't own in their own showcases.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. You have a third party game or even your own games that you're showing that you showcase, and you're all like, "Hey, it's coming to Xbox, coming to Xbox on PC. It's coming to cloud and Game Pass, but also Steam, PlayStation, and Switch. So if you own one of those platforms, don't worry about it. Don't buy our hardware. We're dumb, right? Like that kind of energy." People have noticed because they showed off a trailer for Minecraft Dungeons 2 that the first time they showed the trailer, they had literally every platform that's coming out on listed at the end of the trailer. Now it just shows Xbox, PC, cloud, and Game Pass. That's it. Doesn't show Steam, doesn't show Epic Game Store, doesn't show PlayStation 5, doesn't show Switch 1 and 2, doesn't show a freaking Ouya or the Soldier Boy console or whatever. Like literally everything out under the sun doesn't show any of that other stuff now. So it seems as if Asha has got them actually remembering they own a platform and they should promote the platform. What do you guys thoughts about that? Forte, how you feel? Great,
Forte, are you
Forte. I
muted?
love the commentary there. Ramon, how do you feel?
um, this is this is interesting. I mean, like I love the fact that she has some fight.
I was
I
muted.
mean,
Sorry. Go ahead, Ramon.
you do you want to go ahead and go?
No, go ahead.
Um, I love that she has some fight, and she's coming in with the right mindset, it seems like. Um, I would love if those logos weren't there because they're not going to be on those platforms. Um, and even though it's still a long shot, and I'm not trying to, pie in the sky it, but wouldn't it be as an adjacent, wouldn't it be absolutely amazing if she not only brought Xbox back from the brink, but got it? Like, I mean, she's working against hardware costs, but let's just go. Okay, let's go pie in the sky for a quick second. They're pulling these games. Either they're pulling these games from other platforms, or before they were finished, she's like, "Don't bother. We're doing Xbox only." And then let's say, in the next year and a half, the RAM crisis comes to an end. Let's say China does something miraculous, and we've got affordable RAM again, and the console prices can start coming down and so forth. Asha brings them back from the brink, gets their software lineup strong again, gets their messaging, because you can see that she's getting the messaging back on track again, and she pulls everything together, and Xbox can make a comeback while PlayStation has their head up their ass. Like that would be the most awesome that would be the most awesome comeback in history. But like I said, I know I just threw a big pie in the sky, but I
Well, you
mean,
know what?
I
It's not
do.
impossible. You know,
It's not impossible.
and I kind of feel like when like we not working there and just being gamers who have a even higher interest in how this stuff works in the gaming industry can say, yeah, that ain't going to happen, right? Just based off of recent history and how we know things are. But they should always have that mentality that it could happen because like it actually could
Exactly.
happen, but it's
Yeah,
guaranteed to not happen if you don't believe it can. Like you, this is the biggest issue I had. Remember when Phil Spencer did that interview with Kinda Funny, and he made the comment about like this was like right after Redfall had bombed and they had dropped the ball with allowing it to release the way it did, and they were talking about, Starfield was about to be shown and whatnot. And Phil Spencer made a comment like Starfield could be an 11 out of 10, but it's not going to convince a PlayStation gamer to buy an Xbox.
just completely
And
defeatist attitude. Just
right,
defeatist.
just straight loser energy. And that was my
Yeah, I didn't like
issue
that
with
at all.
that because it's like, sure, are most PlayStation gamers not going to buy an Xbox to play Starfield? True, but you can't have this defeatist attitude as if because you think people won't that nobody will, because frankly that's just not really true. Like you're going to get people who are going to say I really need to play that, so I got no choice but to play it on PC or an Xbox. And you had at the time an Xbox Series S that was, you could find on sale for like $300. All right, let me go get that to go play that game. You just never know, and you should always be promoting your platform and promoting buying your games through that platform because you just never know what's going to be a hit. Like frankly, last year, Game of the Year, Expedition 33, they signed it. They had it in Game Pass. I can guarantee you, them morons had no idea what they had on their hands.
Oh, you know they didn't. You know
But
they didn't. Look at the other
Game
stuff
of the
they
Year
passed.
in Game Pass, that's something to be proud of. But like
Yep.
you just can't just say, "Oh, well, no one's ever going to do XYZ. No one's ever going to do whatever." Like you really don't know that. Is it improbable?
Yeah, it's
Sure, but it's not impossible. And you should be fighting for your platform and being able to make the kind of games or push the kind of games that would bring people to it. You gotta bet on yourself, because no one else will.
yeah, it's like watching a track race, and the person who's in last, just everybody else finished, is getting towards the finish line, and so they just stop running and then walk off the field. You know what I mean? Like you finish the race. And that's not a one to one, but you keep running, because what happens if somebody trips and falls? And right now, your opponent, they're not tripping and falling, obviously, but they're feeling themselves a little too much, and there's a door open. They have been fumbling live service. They've been making all kinds of fumbles. Like public sentiment, I don't know how big public sentiment is, but a good portion of public sentiment is angry with them,
Yeah.
to the point where we have
Look,
these ridiculous
look,
takes
look,
on
look. If you're
Wolverine.
going to do physical media, this would be the perfect opportunity to be like, you know what? Do the reverse of the whole "this is how you share your games" thing
Yeah,
that they
exactly.
did to
That's a
you.
layup.
Hey,
That's a layup.
like I would even take the clip of them doing "this is how you share your games" and put like in it like 2013, and then going 2026 and having Asha and Matthew Ball doing the exact same thing. Now, this is how you share games now, like or it's say in 2028. Let's do it further. In 2028, this is how you're going to share your games in the future, and showing just Xboxes because frankly, you're not going to be able to do that on PlayStation. Like this is how that having that kind of killer instinct go for your neck kind of marketing is how you get people on your side. Being aggressive and being
Yep.
confident in your platform is how you get people to say, "Yeah, I'm down with that." I like nobody wants to back a loser. Like none of this stuff is like accurate towards like whether you have good games or not, or whether your hardware is good or not, or whether your hardware performs better than the other. No, nobody cares about any of that crap. Can you convince people that your platform's worth owning? Can you get kids to
Exactly.
feel confident in saying I own an Xbox without the rest of their friends in their class
Awesome.
clowning them for not having a PlayStation? Can you do that? And doing the kind of marketing that gets people on your side, especially when you know public sentiment will be with you, that's what you should do. Now, there's all these rumors that they may be like Digital Foundry is convinced that they're going to be bringing they're going to do physical media for Helix. If that is true, why aren't you morons talking about that now?
Yeah, and I
I
mean
don't know.
the disc to digital thing sounds like a possibility. As far as the physical disc for the next air quotes console, I don't know because the industry at large has been licking its chops on going digital anyway. So
Mhm.
Xbox
Oh yeah,
could see
all
it
the
as
publishers
the
want that
opportunity
because
to
they're going to make more
well, they're
money
looking
off
about
of it
that.
because they're going to charge you the exact
Everybody's
same
gonna make
amount
more
they
money
charging now, but
and get a larger.
they're cutting out GameStop. They're cutting out the
Yeah, exactly.
retailers. It's a bigger cut
But
for them.
what I think is even though Xbox has a layup in being able to throw PlayStation's little jab back in their face, I also think they could be sitting back saying, "Oh, thanks, they're taking all the bullets, and we'll just follow along and we'll let them take all the machine gun fire, and we'll just quietly move into a digital future as well." And
Yeah.
we'll introduce our disc to digital where you can copy your discs and with the have the digital license. We've all heard about that already.
Right. I mean,
And
that's a
even if you
fine
just did
option,
that,
but it's still not
yeah,
like that's not ownership. So it's like it's a nice half measure, but it's not good enough. Like we need real
yeah,
ownership. Um,
yeah, that's
yeah,
the crux. We definitely that's the most important thing out of all of this is better digital ownership, because there's no excuse for that not to be the case, and there's no reason why that's not the case. Somebody sells me something, I bring it home. What are they going to do? One day come to my house and be like, "Yeah, I'm taking it back." What? Like I literally like exchanged tender for this product. Like I gave you my money, you gave me this product. What is this deal where you think you're entitled to take it away from me after I purchased it? Like I don't even understand why that needs to be a thing. It makes absolutely zero sense to me.
yeah,
So, hopefully that my one hope, not to get sidetracked, but my whole hope with this whole thing blowing up with PlayStation is that it gets regulators looking and be like, okay, we need to do something about this. So that could be
yeah.
one good thing that comes out of all this is regulators finally take a look and being like, okay, so why don't people own this? Explain that to me. And then, well, you know what, well, like, look, what's the excuse they could come up with? So, I'm going to stop because we'll get derailed again. But, you know, that's my hope. I
Got you.
digress.
Forte, your thoughts on them switching up the messaging with the trailers and stuff?
Uh, listen, we talk about a company that its head is their head is so far up there behind, they don't care anymore about the optics of stuff like that because they truly believe that nothing is going to change. And as long as people like SloMoBackSlap is buying games like
Oh my
Marvel's
gosh.
Wolverine on day
Oh my
one, and they don't feel. Listen, man, these companies ain't gonna feel anything until you make them feel something. And let's go. One thing I wanted to say was go back into think about the boycott that's supposedly happening in the next week is the boycott.
There's a
Um,
boycott?
There's a boycott of PSN for a week from the 23rd to the 30th. Now, you tell me, SloMo, if you want to have an effective boycott towards a company that you feel like has their head up their butt and they're making decisions that aren't good for the consumers that purchase on their platform, are you going to pick a week where the biggest game that probably comes out that week is, I mean, what is the game? What comes out next week? I can't think of anything important, but they easily could have just said, hey, what's the biggest game that we can make a big impact for? We know Grand Theft Auto is not going to happen because that game's too big to like fail when it comes to what people are going to put down for that. But Wolverine comes out in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That might be a good week to do it on. And not to say that everybody's going to participate in it, but you'll get a good chance of you'll get like a good litmus test of seeing how supportive the people in that fight would be. But they don't think anything's going to change, bro. Even when they come out with $1,000 plus system in the PS6, whenever it releases, it doesn't matter. They feel like they can't fail. They feel like any decisions they make are for the good of not only you, but for the business too. So at the end of the day, when you see flip-flopping on trailers and all the messaging being changed, it's just another thing like, where are you going to go? If you don't like this, you don't like that, where are you going to go? Oh, you want to go to PC? Well, good luck. Our PlayStation 5 games going forward aren't available on that platform. We already put that messaging out there. Third-party partners. Oh, you want to play their games on PC? Oh, you like the haptic feedback and all of these different benefits you get using a PlayStation 5 controller on our platform? Guess what? That stuff's not available on PC. So you got to come over here on the PlayStation. They're basically telling you what I'm saying, they're telling you all that stuff too, but then when it comes back to Xbox, they ain't doing nothing. This is what it ultimately comes down to. They don't care because their direction is completely different than what PlayStation's is going in. At least they have a vision of what they want their platform to be, as much as we don't like the direction they're going in, and that's why I mentioned all the things I've mentioned. Tell me what Xbox's vision is. What is the North Star for Xbox? At first, we thought it was, Game Pass. Well, it's still technically Game Pass, but we thought it was Game Pass, and we thought it was all of these different games that was going to release over the course of the platform that was going to bring people into the ecosystem. But obviously, I don't think that's truly it. You thought it was the console because they said we're going to bring console exclusivity back to people and allow you to play those games that are exclusive that we were bringing to other places back home so you can play them on Xbox. I told people this when Asha was first appointed, that in general, it's just really going to come down to what is the long-term vision of what this company is going to be. The 100-day plan. Asha said she had I forget how many years she said she had to turn this around. Well, Xbox
1 year.
Yeah, the 1 year plan. Yeah, 1 year. Even if it's 2 years, is Asha going to be? I mean, is Xbox going to be around long enough to do that?
Forte, you know what I think will be a good indication?
Yeah.
What the Helix turns out to be when they announce it. If it's still more PC than console, I think that gives us an idea. But if they tinker with the specs and make it an actual console, like for real console, I think that'll be a big indication that they're moving definitively back into the console space and that it'll be a fight again. But if this Helix is more PC than console, like it originally was looking, then that's when I think things are still kind of muddy.
But you're also talking about the same company that wanted to make everything into a TV hub too.
Well, yeah, but that was pre-Asha though.
I'm just saying, but these are all still okay. But do you think this was only all of these decisions? Do you think? gonna back that up. It also, like I said, it always goes. Remember when I told y'all, I don't care what Asha says, the people that still made all of these major decisions that put Xbox where it is now are the ones that greenlit everything that Phil Spencer wanted to do in the past. They're still there. All the bad decision makers that said, hey, guess what? You're a go on this. You're a go on that. You're a go on making all of our first party titles day and date on Game Pass, where we basically are diluting the market where people don't feel like they have to buy their games. All they got to do is subscribe to a subscription service to get them. Oh, guess what? You don't, the same people, marketing. Oh, you don't even have to have an Xbox. You can play your games anywhere. You can play them on PC. Every screen is an Xbox. You don't think that was greenlit by somebody? Can you imagine?
Think that Satya has loosened the leash for Asha on all of that, though.
Well, he doesn't have. He has no choice. He has no choice.
He has no choice. He has no choice. But I think that Asha has a looser rein to turn this around. So he's like. So I think it's more like Satya's like, okay, look, we're loosening the 30% accountability. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you this. You have 1 year to turn this around. We're going to lighten up. We're going to lighten up the leash and give you a chance, but you got 1 year.
How are you going to change the fortunes of a company that you destroyed over 6 years? How can you do that?
I think she has to show a certain amount of progress. Obviously, she can't turn the whole thing around, but I think if she has enough progress,
you have to get people to buy back into the platform.
She has to get it to profitability. So I don't know.
I mean, well, let me ask you this: what's profit? But see, this is the other thing. Talking about profitability, what's real profitability? You know, is profitability off of what Xbox was doing before they started telling people that they ain't need a console? Or are we talking about profitability off of the numbers that were tanking over the last 3 to 4 years? Because let's be for real, it's not hard at all to really fix the numbers from 2 to 3 years ago. I mean, you literally did nothing. You didn't even, it felt like you didn't even try. So all they got to do is and then on top of that, you got your best games coming out right now where people are going to be spending their money or being inside a Game Pass where it's going to be probably at its most, its biggest heights when it comes to like subscriber base and people spending money, because over the last 3 to 4 years, it was always this promise of these games are coming. This game is coming. Then we just kept pushing pushing everything down the road, like to the fact that Fable has been talked about for half a decade now. And that game, and we still don't know what the actual release date of that game is. It's it's like first quarter 2027. But guess what? Do you actually know the date of that game, Ramon?
It's February. I think it's like 2 days after.
Did they actually give it a physical date?
I think they do. I think they gave it a physical date because Laufey is like a few days away from it.
Fable release date. Maybe they did. I don't know. Oh yeah, February 23rd. They actually gave me the date finally. So, but that took 5 years to do after being talking about. But my biggest thing is at the end of the day, you can't fix something you tore down in 1 year. It's just like I told SloMo when it came down to Halo in 2021, when they put out that horrendous trailer of Halo Infinite and told everybody that and Craig himself was born. When Craig was born, and we told everybody this ain't it. And they told everybody we're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to fix all of the issues that people had. And they said we're delaying it for 1 year. The first thing I tell I was like, SloMo, the problems this game has, I was like, the problems this game has can't be fixed in 1 year. And guess what? They still released that freaking game a year later with no co-op, like no Forge, and like it's like, but guess what? They were chasing their own tail. This is just another, and I don't want to rail on them because I believe in what Asha wants to do. I believe that she has good intentions and stuff. Just listen to her talk. But I don't think she's going to have the time to do what she needs to do, because we still have a $69 billion anvil around our neck called Activision.
and then a lifeline that turned into a noose in the form of Game Pass in its current form.
And if they want, and this is the last thing I'll say, if they and I don't want this, but this is what needs to happen. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, that sucks if they do that, because that goes against everything that we believed over the last almost decade, since 2017. What they need to do is peel the Band-Aid off and completely and utterly just destroy day and date on Game Pass. They just need to
that's in the cards. That's definitely going to happen.
I think that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But if they truly want people to believe and start the healing process, they have to do it sooner rather than later.
They need people buying games.
Exactly. So this the thing though, you need to do it now while people are while you got good games that people are anticipating coming out, and just apologize and say how it is. Say, hey, Xbox isn't in a great enough spot. And yes, we do want to be able to have an ability to give you guys games inside of a subscription service, but these tentpole games can't be it. We can tell you that within 3 months of them coming out, anybody that has Game Pass will get first access. You'll get those games in 2 to 3 months, or if you got regular Game Pass, it'll be 6 months later. If you got Game Pass Ultimate, it's like a month to 2 months after release. You can say, I'm saying you can do a lot of. Some people will wait, but guess what? I believe they'll get more sales off of that game being a 3 month delay for Game Pass than people waiting. Because just like the one thing that SloMo says all the time that's 100% correct is, if you are looking forward to something, you are not waiting for it. And guess what? A lot of people are looking forward to Fable. So yes, even if you came on and told people Game Pass Ultimate will not have Fable day and date, but it will be available 90 days after launch for anybody that's a Game Pass Ultimate subscription, 6 months after launch if you're just a normal Game Pass member, guess what? People are going to go out and buy the game because they want to play it day one. And there's going to be a good amount of people that's going to wait, but they're going to get more sales off of that game by making that decision and pulling that Band-Aid now. The longer they keep going on and they keep going down this rabbit hole of do we or do we not, it's going to be more and more people that's going to be looking at them like, bro, the biggest problem you have is revenue, and you don't have enough of it because nobody's buying your games. This is literally your only option. So if they did that, I would be one of the first people to say, guess what? I think they're on the right track, and I think that they could turn this around. But until they do that, I don't think any of the stuff that they're doing is going to be, the time just isn't going to be on their side when it comes to it. But what do you think, SloMo?
I think you are 1000% correct, and that's not just because you said that I was right, but I agree with you. I agree. I think that when people want something, they're going to make sure they get it. And this is also the reason why having unique experiences on your platform works, because like, sure, your exclusive game isn't going to give you more revenue than Fortnite and Roblox and Madden and 2K do, but all those games are on all other platforms. What do you have that differentiates your platform from other platforms? What do you have that, like, if someone really wants to play that game, you putting it in Game Pass is going to say, hey, great, thank you. I don't have to buy that now. I can save that money for something else, or I can buy something else with that money. Not since I'm already subscribed to Game Pass, I have that money already. You're not getting more subs from those people because they were already subscribed. So it's just not it's great for the consumer, great for us. It's not great for the business. And so you got sometimes at some point in time, you got to do what's right for the business. And if you are, and shout out to, not well, shout out, but like, remember last week we were talking about the id Software engineer who was like, we don't like Game Pass because although Game Pass is making it so our games don't sell great, there absolutely are still holding us accountable for the low sales, even though it's their service that's not necessarily making it so that there's low sales, but it's not helping, right? So, long story short, they gotta do what they gotta do. I know we are far off. This one more topic, this rapid fire before we get into the main topic. So let's just go ahead and finish this up, and then. Oh, really? Oh, really? We can discuss the final topic once we get finished with this one. So, Insomniac's Wolverine over the past week has been getting a lot of backlash. There were a few leaks of some gameplay things that I think they came out on Instagram or Reddit. Like there's somebody that just keeps like leaking like 30-second clips of the game. And people have been kind of going after him. You know, it's been PC gamers, it's been Xbox gamers, it's been PlayStation gamers. People have been kind of going after Insomniac for what they feel are ugly visuals at times, for what they feel is and this has been kind of going on ever since they first did a full fledged gameplay reveal back in June. But there's criticism of Wolverine's face because they basically made his face look just like the actor that is doing the voice for Wolverine, which that's a choice. I understand it, although I don't quite agree with it. I don't think you need to make the actor look like I'm sorry, make the character look like the actor that's doing their voice. I feel like that's unnecessary, especially considering Wolverine has a very unique look. And when I look at that guy, I just think about Spartacus because that's the guy from Spartacus. It's just, like it doesn't quite work for me. But it's not that big a deal as far as I'm concerned. But then there's also this boss fight, and I'm gonna show this 30-second clip of this boss fight that people are up in arms about. And I'm of two minds with because I get it. The criticism is that like they're showing this clip of this boss fight, and then they're also showing a clip from like a Ben 10 game. You know Ben 10, the cartoon, like a video game for it.
Yeah.
And it's essentially pretty much a very similar thing. And I get the criticism because it's like it's a Sentinel, bro. And we've seen Wolverine in like comic books and in the cartoons fighting Sentinels. And Sentinels do way more than just attack you with one arm. And Wolverine does way more than just dodging that one arm in a small little arena. But again, I see that side of it and I get the desire of wanting more, but then so many different games use this kind of game design. I'm not quite certain I understand why Insomniac is getting all the smoke for it. When I could point to a multitude of games that have done this exact same game design and has used it extensively. And we see it all the time, regardless of platform. There's been Xbox games that have done this. There have been more PlayStation games than this one that do this. There have been third-party games that do this. Why is this a big deal at this point now? I don't know. But Forte, what are your thoughts about all this backlash on the Wolverine game?
I
And,
mean,
and
there's a
don't just say I'm
Go
mad
ahead.
at Sony, so I
Well,
don't care. No, I want to
no,
know
no,
what
no,
you really
no.
feel
But
about this.
no, but that's legit part of a lot of the it's like so hard to like separate the genuine, the genuine things that people feel about the game versus how people are just dog walking the game every time they speak about it because of PlayStation's decisions to do what people just don't like them to do. Like when you can read a comments, you can read like the comments on the game and see that some people they like the combat, they like the overall style, but they still feel like it's a cut and dry you can replace Spider-Man with this character and stuff like that. So a lot of people say the story arcs looks like they're still kind of taken straight out of like the Insomniac. And I'll say this: this is where I think a lot of people kind of like not the bad side of Insomniac. You really can't be upset that they're using an engine that they tailor made for one game and they're using that to craft to get these other games out the door faster. Like when I saw Wolverine for the first time, I was like, yo, this is awesome. This looks good. And I guarantee you there's probably a Mary Jane section in it that everybody's not going to like. There's going to be something like that in this game and people will be like, I ain't signed up for this. And it just seems like that's going to be a situation. But I think it's a little bit overblown. A lot of the hate and discomfort that people are exuding towards this game. But like I said, it's kind of hard to like kind of dissect exactly where it's coming from because PlayStation is in a situation where everything they talk about is just like dog water to a lot of people. So I think that's the biggest thing. And as long as
I think it's like a residual effect
it's
of
all
the
a
anger of the physical media thing.
Did you watch the state of play and watch
Yeah.
the chat on that?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Yeah.
Oh, it was
the whole entire chat was them.
The whole entire chat. They're still getting ratioed on every post they do. They're still getting comments and community posts on everything they talk about. And so,
But
me personally,
so did you see the other thing where people were complaining about like the waypoint trails? Not waypoint's probably the wrong way of explaining it. Essentially, where Wolverine does his tracking thing, like there's like a trail that you can follow that would take you to like whoever he's tracking, and people were complaining about that. We've seen like AI mock-ups of like Mario coins. He's following like Mario coins and stuff like that, which is funny, but at the same time, it's like if any character should have something like this, it's Wolverine.
right?
Like the guy, it's like a part of his power. Is like he has enhanced senses and smell and scent, and he could definitely track someone in that manner. Like you compare that to something like Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, well, actually all the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games, where she's like, I can't remember what button you press, but she could like see enemies in the forest and stuff, and you're just like,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
how is she able to do that? No one cares. You could do that in The Last of Us with Ellie. Ellie can do that. And it's like
Look at the Assassin's
enhanced
Creed games. You
hearing.
hold
She ain't no
down right.
mutant. Like so, if anyone should be able to do that, is Wolverine. That's the main one. I was kind of like, yeah, y'all just basically wilding on this one. Like I could get some criticisms, but come on, bro. Like Wolverine being able to track people, you think that's a problem? Like, have you ever heard of Wolverine before? Do you not know anything about the character? Like, come on.
Yeah, there's been a few people who have outed themselves. We'll say.
Yeah. But I mean, look, we don't have to stay on it for too long. We can get into the last topic. I just kind of find it pretty interesting. I do think that the game's going to I think it's going to get reviewed far more harshly than
easily, absolutely.
than like Insomniac's previous games, and some of that may be due to how Insomniac goes about things, but a lot of it will be due to how people feel about PlayStation right now in general. So, sorry, Insomniac, you're just gonna have to deal with some of that backlash, unfortunately.
The thing that's annoyed me about this is we go back to Spider-Man 2018 and it was Puddlegate. People were giving them smoke over some freaking puddles, and it was absolutely ridiculous. The Ben 10 thing. I wonder if the person who was talking about Ben 10 this and that ever played a game called God of War 2 and fought the Colossus of Rhodes. There and then what about in God of War 3 where you fought Hades? Like on the one hand, like you said, SloMo, yeah, this has been done several times before, but like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like this, there's a point where you could say, oh man, they're doing this boss fight again. You know what I mean? But then there's
Mhm.
another point where you blow it up to such a big deal that regardless of whether or not you're angry at Sony about this situation, you dilute your point and you make yourself look ridiculous because then you're doing Spider-Man 2018 Puddlegate all over again, and it's ridiculous. And the media always piles in on that stuff. They always do that, and it's ridiculous. It looks
Look,
ridiculous, and then
Ramon,
people
I'm
start
I'm gonna
nitpicking.
tell you the same thing I tell the Xbox, Xbox fanboys when they complain about the media. It is all about engagement. The
Yeah, yeah, it
media
is.
will
Yep,
do or say whatever it takes to get you to click. Whether it's
yep,
clicking on their social media post or their YouTube channels when they complain about these things, or whether their articles, if it's something that is being discussed and they think you are going to, whether you are agreeing with them, disagreeing with them, hating the day they were born, whatever it is to get you to click on their links, they are going to do that. In addition to that, all the fanboys fall for it every time. They take,
yep.
can you believe what this guy just said? Let me retweet it so everyone can
Yeah.
see how much of
Oh
an
my
idiot
god.
he is. And he's just like, thank you. Because now
Yep.
you're retweeting it, and now more people are going to see what I said that they disagree with so much. I don't care how you feel. Thanks for the views, though. You've definitely helped me keep my job another month. That's just how this stuff works. People just gotta. If you don't care for that kind of coverage in gaming, stop engaging with these platforms, man. Start giving them what they want.
Giving them what they want.
100% correct.
But let's get into this last topic. And this is yeah, this is going to be fairly interesting. I don't think any of us are going to really disagree with how things are turning out and how we feel about it. But essentially PlayStation this is being announced by Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. PlayStation is rebooting the online game Horizon Hunters Gathering after negative feedback at their most recent playtest. The new plan is to have a smaller scoped game that's more traditional co-op multiplayer, but no more live service. And apparently, almost all of Guerrilla Games has been working on Horizon Hunters Gathering for the last few years. And the next mainline single player Horizon game, which is the only Horizon games that actually sell, is still far away. Um, the studio told staff in a meeting yesterday, Wednesday. Actually, I don't know. This might have been Wednesday. Yeah, actually, it was Wednesday. Yeah. That they will have a some time to try to reboot this game and change it the way that leadership likes, but they have until December to impress the executives enough to kind of allow them to make it to their next milestone. But regardless of that, many of the developers on Horizon Hunters Gathering will be reassigned to a different project that is going to be evaluated by the end of the year. And so let me say my piece on this before you guys go. Please fire Herman Holst. Please. Now
Please
I'm
fire
not
Hunter.
saying I'm
He's
not
rich.
fighting for
Come on.
someone to lose their job. But I just
He's rich.
feel
He'll be
like
fine.
this man is just not the right person for first party content at PlayStation. One, he used to run Guerrilla Games. And he keeps pushing the Horizon IP. I do not think this is a coincidence that the guy that used to run Guerrilla Games now runs all the first party. And somehow we keep getting spin-offs of the IP that they created. And I get like mainline Horizon games, how you want to make sequels to those because those have sold well. Both games did, both Zero Dawn and Forbidden West sold well. But you've done a Horizon VR game that nobody cared about. You have canceled other Horizon, like a Horizon MMO. You have now tried to make this online mobile looking Horizon game that nobody cares for either, and is all in negative playtests. Shocker. How many of your live service games keep getting negative playtests? Just, bro, stop trying to make Horizon happen. It is not a bigger IP than like God of War or The Last of Us or even freaking Uncharted, which we haven't had another Uncharted game in forever. Stop making these Horizon games, bruh. It's just not going to happen. And in addition to having like continuing to keep making these spin-off Horizon games, you had the bulk of Gorilla making a game that they are not in a kind of genre that they're not familiar with. It's not apples to apples, but it very much reminds me of what Bethesda ZeniMax did to Arcane Austin, which doesn't exist anymore. Arcane Austin made Prey, didn't sell great, but people thought it was a quality game. They helped make the Sonic games. They were immersive sim studio. That's what they did. That's what they specialized in. And then Bethesda's like, yeah, we need more money, so we need you to go ahead and make a multiplayer shooter. So what do? They go hire people who know how to make those games, even though it didn't really help much. The game still sucked, right? But what ended up happening is that more than half of the studio left because these were people who were passionate about making immersive sims, not passionate about making a looter shooter. When you out here having the bulk of Gorilla making this hunters gathering online co-op multiplayer slop game instead of making another Horizon game, you're when you pivot back to making the Horizon game, once the traditional Horizon game, once this game, this other thing fails, how many of your people, how much of your talent did you lose because they wanted to go off and they didn't want to make something like this? Like these are the residual damage that comes from poor decision making. And let's just and I'll say this last thing, let's just keep it a buck. Herman Hulse took over first party at a time when Jim Ryan was in charge, and Jim Ryan was out here doing what the investors wanted, what leadership wanted, which is bringing in live service games. The bulk of the revenue that happens on PlayStation comes from them. Their 30% cut for all these super popular live service games. But how do you make more money? Like those are guarantees. Like you're gonna get that money off of Madden and 2K and Fortnite and Call of Duty and FIFA and Roblox. You're gonna make your 30% cut off of all that every single year. But investors don't care about that. They care about year over year growth. Growth. How are you growing? And the only way they can see themselves growing isn't through investing bigger in single player games, which they excel at. But despite excelling at it, they don't get a dramatically more sales from it. They look at it like we gotta get one of these live service bangers. If we can get a live service banger, it could pay for everything. It could fund the other games. It could give us, profit. And if it's really hitting 2, 3 years down the line, it's still bringing in the revenue for just seasonal content. So they try they 12 ideas they greenlight. More than half of them get canceled. Long story short, you got one success, which is Helldivers 2. That's a failure. That's a failure, not just on Jim Ryan, who acquired Bungie and for a really dumb reason. and that backfired on him. But it's a failure on Herman Hulse, who's the one that's green lighting Concord and calling it like the next big whatever for them. And that thing, you had to unlaunch the game, is the biggest L in PlayStation history. 1 out of 12 games is successful? No. And not to minimize his successes, but your studios know how to make their own games. And you out here got them making multiplayer stuff that's not in their bag. These are the kind of L's that, like,
Fireable offenses.
yeah, like, I'm sorry, but like when Matt Booty does stuff like this, we say, look, loose booty gotta go.
Exactly.
Big head Herman Hulse got to go. You cannot continue to have this man mismanaging the platform this way. And you have now delayed the release of the kind of content on first party that has helped get you where you are, because you had them making games outside their wheelhouse. You lost Blue Point in all of this. You acquired a developer that specialized in taking your older games and modernizing them in reboots. Then said, bump all that. I know you want to do Blue Bloodborne, but apparently Miyazaki is in his
He's a
feces
diva.
about it. So you can't do
Freaking
that.
diva.
But go ahead and make us a live service God of War. Whoops, this isn't working out. Maybe that's just not in your skill set. All right, shut the studio down. What are we doing here? This level of mismanagement is never cool for anybody. So it's also not going to be cool for PlayStation. Get some new leadership in here who knows how to handle these things. Maybe someone who's actually, I don't know, shipped some successful live service games before, can stay out of the way of the studios that don't do that and actually get the ball back on track. Okay, off my soapbox. Who else would like to go?
I'd like to go.
He said, I'm off my soapbox.
The man is rich, so I have no problem saying this. Pack him up. Pack him all the way up. Pack him up, roll him up in a carpet, and roll him out on the curb. I am so tired of Superdome screwing everything up, like between him shoving Horizon down our throats. And everybody, y'all know that I am a big fan of Horizon. I love the first Horizon. I love the second Horizon. Herman he's not even spoon feeding us Horizon. He is turning on a freaking fire hydrant and trying to drown us in Horizon. There's such a thing called nepotism. And I'm sorry, when you have somebody who came from Guerrilla Studios and we're up to our earlobes in Horizon, that looks a little bit like nepotism to me. He obviously, as you've already said, SloMo, struggles to recognize what is a good idea and what is not a good idea. Concord being PlayStation's Star Wars is not a good idea. Hunter's Gathering, like the fact that he the fact that he the fact that he can't recognize that you have these new characters created in a world where Aloy is supposed to be something special and she's able to do things that nobody else can do, and you have this multiplayer game where everybody are doing these moves
Yeah.
that put Aloy to shame, completely
Oh my
undermine
God, man.
everything she can do. That is the most basic continuity error you could possibly have. They completely overshadowed Aloy. If there's 5 characters, they overshadowed her 5 times over. Like just amateur stuff, you know. And then like what you said with mismanaging Blue Point, I'll never forgive him for that. You get a studio that specializes in that. Then you got to make a live service outside their wheelhouse. You tell a running back to suddenly be a quarterback, or you tell a linebacker to suddenly be a quarterback, and then you fire him because he's not a good quarterback. Like, in what world? So yeah, pack him all the way up. This Hunter's Gathering, they had all of them on this game, which means how long is it going to be before we get a third Horizon? Oh, I don't know, PS6.
Oh, definitely PS6.
Halfway into the 2 years into the PS6 generation, I would even wager. I mean, who knows? You know, it's a sequel, so they can reuse some of the assets and everything, and that's fine. So maybe it won't take 6 years or 5 years, but definitely it's going to be a PS6 game. But I am so tired of Herman Hulst. Like I could just grow hair and then pull it out. I'm so tired of just people failing to the top, not knowing what they're doing, making the worst decision. If we made decisions like Herman Hulst made, we would not be employed.
Right.
You know, and this is the reason. You know, and I'm you know, I'm gonna get off my soapbox in a minute. I'm tired of these singular people who, through their ineptitude, are causing people their jobs. They're messing with people's careers
Mm.
because people who spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years on a project and then it gets canceled, they can't put that on their resume. You know, and so they okay, yeah, they've been employed, but they spent all these years on a project that they can't even claim on their resume. You know, all because somebody doesn't know what they're doing at the top. Get somebody in there that actually knows what they're doing and who can actually say, okay, Gorilla, we're gonna do Horizon 3, and then you know,
And we'll
once we get ready
outsource
to ship
this
that,
Horizon multiplayer thing to a studio that actually does that
knows
stuff.
how to do it.
Yeah, so you can
Exactly.
keep doing what you're doing, but we're gonna outsource something that we hope is great in live service using your IP to someone else.
Exactly. And then, you know, it's in a perfect world, in a perfect world, if I was Nishina, I'd be like, oh, okay, so Herman, the first thing I want you to do is all those people who we lost at Blue Point, I want you to go get them back. And then we're gonna reform Blue Point. And then once Blue Point is reformed, then I'd fire him. But that's just me.
Hmm.
Forte.
Yes.
We need
I
you
have
we need you
spewed
to
my
complete
lava.
the trifecta of Herman Hulst slander.
Oh, listen, that man. So many people. It's like Mac Booty, but in a higher position, just failing upward consistently all the time.
Yeah,
Now,
they must have like went to college together, you know, was in the same fraternity or
Dude,
something.
he
Like
has something on
they
somebody.
yeah, the two of them are really good at avoiding accountability and continuing to
Yeah.
survive regardless of how poorly they do their jobs. It's very it's a talent, you know. You know,
it is a talent.
we talked
It's
about
crazy. It's a
Wolverine's
superpower.
mutant powers. Their mutant power is to survive keeping
At
their
all
job
costs.
at all costs, no matter what. It's just wow. I don't know. I mean, you know,
It's
it's like
insane.
makes
Yeah,
no sense to me.
it's. I mean, I used to give a little bit more slack to Holtzman just because a lot of the decisions that were being made were during Jim Ryan's tenure when it came to the live service activation of all the first party studios and everything. And yeah, it seemed like he was rolling all of that back. But then the news of this and Bobby and is right during their earnings call, not even weeks after they basically told Bungie that we basically don't need your services anymore when it comes to live services.
Maximum profits.
Maximum profits.
You get
They literally
maximum
say we're doubling down on our vision for live service. And I was like, what? I was like, wait a minute,
They
hold up.
hired the specialist and then fired the specialist and continue what they hired the specialist
I
for
was like,
after they
wait a
fired the
minute.
specialist.
I was like, listen, I was trying to, I had to do a double take, bro. I was sitting there like, wait, what did he say? What did they say? They said we want to double down on our future live services. And I was like, wow, That's something. Don't you realize that you got an IP that literally put out a final update that's giving your live service platform the biggest boost it's probably had since you started this initiative? I was like, wow. So so what is this live service push going to be? I was like, what game is it going to be? It's surely a Destiny. It surely ain't going to be Marathon, because Marathon is it's sitting beyond death's door. It's like 3,000 people playing that game at this point.
Oh my goodness.
It's like 3,000 people playing that game at this point, where Destiny still has somewhat like 30,000 people, almost 40,000 people still playing it, which is the same amount of people that pretty much are playing Arc Raiders, Arc Raiders is kind of falling off too. So I look at this and I'm like, so what could the game be? And then these dudes had the nerve, the ultimate goal to put out a freaking Horizon. I'm like, bro, listen, most people, I'm not gonna, y'all want me to say most. I'll give the majority to Ramon's side. I'll say some people couldn't even stand looking at the character in the game. They couldn't stand her talking. They couldn't stand her bravado. Couldn't stand her attitude. She was like a picture with no substance. That's what she was, a character with no substance, it felt like. And you decided to pick.
1,000,000,000,000% disagree, by the way, but go ahead.
Well, you could disagree all you want. All I know is once I got to the city, I got bored and I forgot how to play the game. Bro, I was like, this is boring. But
See what your attitude is like when people shun you and make you an outcast, and then suddenly depend on you to save their ass when the world is coming to an end. What's your personality gonna be like?
But guess what my personality is going to be like? I wouldn't be picking. Oh, you said, you talk about in the game sense. She was wide open, if I remember. Pause. You know, she was a very starry-eyed kid. She knew everything that was going on around her and all of that stuff. She got the little.
And she had adults not letting their children play with her because she was shunned, and she grew up being an outcast, and everybody hated her except Ross. And then later on, the world needs to be saved, and it's all on her to save the world. And now everybody's like, "Oh, Aloy, we need your help." Oh, thanks.
Well, guess what?
You need my help.
Well, guess what? Guess what? We didn't even get to that point because it was boring before that. But I'm not gonna.
Right, let's just.
We're gonna guess what game won't engender anywhere near this level of debate? Horizon Hunters Gathering, because there's gonna be nobody caring about none of the story enough to even debate whether it was good or boring or not.
Listen, at least I spent money on a PC version of Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. I spent money for PC versions of those because those are phenomenally look. Those are tech demos. How good those games look. But and guess what? I have fun. Like the minute-to-minute combat in that game is awesome. But that story, until you get to the DLC, I hear, but it's a lot to get to the DLC.
For me, with Zero Dawn, I was bored up until the point where you meet like the Sun King or whatever it is. And then once you get past that, like boss fight, and then in saving him, when you learn the story, like you find like the headquarters of the company that basically ruined the world, and then you start to see like exactly what Zero Dawn was really about and how the machines took over. All that was fascinating. And like when they talked about, here we go with Herman Holtz pushing this nonsense, a Horizon TV series, I was like, if they really do a TV series on this, I want it to be about what Project Zero Dawn really was, because that, like, the entire idea of creating a project, and then convincing the world's military that you can win and you can stop the machines, but really you just need them to fight as hard as they can to buy you enough time to reboot humanity. It's just like it's sad, and yet a awesome idea at the same time, right? And so like that made me go, okay, I see the vision with the story. It's like it's a good story that's told poorly, if
Yep,
that
I
makes
agree.
sense. It's like
And
it's
I agree.
interesting situations and an interesting plot and premise that just wasn't told very well, because you know how long it takes you to get to realizing any of this stuff? It's like 20 hours in to Zero Dawn. And when it came to Forbidden West, and I know this isn't really like, you know, what we the topic, but since we're here, I quit Forbidden West when it's been a people say spoilers. The game is
That
stopper.
game is 17 years old, it feels like at
The
this
game
point.
came out in like 2017, bro. Come on now. Um, and shoot, I'm about to spoil Forbidden West that came out. Well, you know, look, there's a particular character that has been cloned in Forbidden West, and I'm just like, but you made it seem like she was so You know what? I was like, peace out. I'm not. I'm not interested in any further with the story. It was just really kind of turned me off. Um, but like the thing is that regardless of how I and Forte feel about that story, there are people like Ramon that like the story, and there are people like Ramon who want a actual traditional Horizon game. They want a single player experience. And sure, you know, maybe you know, them learning some things about co-op will allow them to add co-op into the next Horizon game. That's fine. Go ahead and evolve it and make it a little bit different. But still, the core experience should be the core experience. What people actually go to Horizon for. Zero Dawn sold great. Forbidden West sold great. That VR game did not. This game is getting negative feedback. Not every IP can have spin-offs in different genres and be successful. And I don't think Horizon, you know, whether you like Horizon or not, I don't think Horizon is the kind of IP that actually works in different genres. Let it go, bro. You know, like you imagine you spending money on this and people you could have gave people factions too.
Brother.
Look,
Brother.
hold on. Think about what they are. They say the new plan in this reboot is to make the game a smaller scope.
Mm-hmm.
More
Crazy.
traditional co-op multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
If
No
only
more
they could have
live
did that with another
service.
game.
Mm.
Why couldn't you have done a lot of those things with factions too? What did people who liked factions 1 want from factions 2? They wanted
Co-op, no live
factions
service.
1, but looking better. Like in how they Naughty Dog updated the engine, they basically wanted the same experience, but just a little bit more. Maybe, you know, a little bit more guns, a little bit more skins. Maybe, you know, add a little bit more story to it. They wanted more of what it already was.
Yep.
What they are rescoping Hunter's Gathering to be is a non-live service multiplayer game. But damn, that's what people wanted from Factions 2. A non-live service multiplayer experience.
Idiots.
But nobody cares about Horizon
Nope.
in this way. But you already
Exactly.
know people care about factions. This is why Herman's got to go. Because this is a no-brainer. It just, you already got a lot of the work that was already done by Naughty Dog on Factions 2. Outsource that to someone else. Let them pick it up and let them continue it on. And then when it comes out, let them maintain it. Let Naughty Dog work on Intergalactic. I mean, I don't feel like these are difficult decisions. Clearly, I mean, I'm not in that arena, but come on, bro. What are we doing?
It's almost like they're out of touch and don't know what their audience wants.
Well, they don't.
Yeah.
They want to tell their audience what they want versus what they actually want.
And eventually that will continue to bite them in the butt. But hey, look, you know, let's
You know, I will say this. I just never expected. You know how everybody know competition and arrogant Sony. I've always bucked at people saying that arrogant Sony this, arrogant Sony that, because I didn't think like they actually experienced what that was like in 2006, 2007, where it got them. Nobody wanted to buy their console until they. It's like it's. I just never thought that they would go back to this. It's like
Every
it's
company does it,
true.
man.
I mean, but it's just truly, it's like, and then you're picking, it's almost like how Phil Spencer came out and talked about they lost the worst generation to lose, which they did, which was the PS4 gen. But this is like the worst generation for you. But I will say this is the worst generation for you to want to change the perception of your platform, or even the worst generation for you to want to change everything, because the prices of everything are so vastly different than what they were before. We're going into year 7 of the PS5, and it's drastically more expensive than it was at launch. And your next system is going to be drastically higher than that. And games are becoming even more expensive than they were before. So holding on to your players, and you realize this, that's because you realize this as a company, because this is why you made the decision to stop bringing games to PC, because you know you have to have a funnel, a reason for people to buy games to come to your platform, because the price of admission isn't enough anymore. Like, people would just say, I'm just going to get a PS5 because it was like the oh duh moment. It's like, I'm going to get a PS5. It was like the easy thing to just say, I'm going to get. Now, people got to make decisions. They might just stay on. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's people that's going to like skip Grand Theft Auto because they just can't afford a PS5 at this point. There's going to be people out there that don't want to do that.
That
and
definitely would be people who have been on last gen this entire time.
That are going to be able to upgrade. So they're just making the worst, like, decisions when it comes to a perception. I don't think it makes is bad when it comes to business, because everybody wants to make money. I will never say a company shouldn't make money, but the perception is across your whole strategy of games as a service, physical media, and just the direction you want to go with your stuff going forward is just bad. Like, nobody likes any of it right now. The only thing that's saving them is games like Wolverine being this year. Can you imagine if Wolverine wasn't coming out this year? What would the conversation around PlayStation really be?
Can you imagine if the PlayStation didn't have Insomniac?
Imagine if Grand Theft Auto wasn't coming out this year. That's going to literally save their revenue stream for this year. Like, we were talking about this the other week. They are lowering forecast of systems sold in a year that the biggest game in gaming history, in a number standpoint, is releasing. Those two things don't normally go together.
Yeah, but when you're selling your base console is like what, $650?
Yeah, and that's why I say they understand. They understand where they are, but the perception of what it is completely detached from everything else that they're doing to try to mitigate that as a company. They're basically telling everybody, like, they think people are just going to go out and buy their console just because they're PlayStation. And some people are, but not as many people as they think gonna do it. And if they keep moving in this direction and making these decisions, I can see it being, I don't know, man. That's why I say gaming is boring lately. It's a lot of games out there, but the things that people really, truly want to play, it just seems like it's very, very far in between what we used to like. We used to be able to pick 15 to 20 games out a year that we were super excited for. Now it's like, maybe 5 or 6. And of that 5 and 6, 3 of them were like, I'm very excited for that. And I don't know, man. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I think it's about time we go ahead and wrap it up. Final topic and all. PlayStation, you know what you
Ooh,
gotta
switch.
do. Get rid of that lame duck that was hired by the last administration.
And then
Get
get
them
some
up out of there.
non-robotic personalities in there to actually talk to people so you can stop sowing bad will to replace your goodwill.
Facts.
Big facts. But we're gonna get up out of here. Forte, let everyone know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, great show. Appreciate you as always. Shout out to Ramon for coming through and hanging out with us as he always does. For you doing a great job hosting the show, and shout out to the chat. For the good conversations and back and forth in the chat. You guys are always appreciated. And shout out to the super chat too. Appreciate that as always. We got some stuff in the works for you guys when it comes to that too. But outside of that, Gaming Forte, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, Blue Skies, places like that. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the things that you're playing, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Ramon.
Yep.
Yo, thanks for having me as always, guys. Love chopping it up with you every Thursday or Friday. Wouldn't miss it for the world if I could. And it's been great. I just want to add really quick. Shout out to Eric Jackson. He sent me on Instagram a clip of somebody watching some gameplay footage of Black Myth Zhonghui. I highly recommend you look that up because it looks ridiculous, and the combat is different than Wukong. So it's look up that gameplay for Zhonghui because it looks crazy. But that's it. Enjoy your games, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. Have some fun. There's more awesome games to play than we have the time to play them, even if we had all the money in the world. So uh, walk past all this drama and enjoy yourself. Have a good night, guys.
Big facts. And again, great chat as usual. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, which depending on where you live it ain't much left to enjoy. But enjoy your games, enjoy your weekend, tuck some grass, tuck some. I'm not gonna do the whole spiel. You know what it is. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as usual. And we out, man. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.